Agriculture is the main economic activity in most African countries and is more of a low-input traditional farming. Over the years, farmers have been cropping the land without regard for the nutrient balance of the soils. This has resulted in excessive mining of nutrients without adequate replenishment, poorer soils each season, and lower productivity and income from farming. On average, Africa uses about 8 kilograms of nutrients per hectare compared to 120 kilograms and more in Asia and the developed world. This is very low.
Bangladesh, which is a tiny country, uses 3 times the amount of fertilizer of the whole sub-Saharan Africa, 3.6 million tons.
We know that in the country, the application of a fertilizer is something to the rate of 10 to 12 kilograms per hectare. And the world average should be somewhere between 40 and 50 kilograms per hectare. That's the only way we could achieve good productivity. We know that the use of improved varieties of various crops is also not optimum. It ranges between 50 and 65% depending on where you come from.
A lesson learned from the Green Revolution in Asian countries was the dramatic increase in food production that resulted from use of fertilizer and high-yielding seed. Increasing fertilizer use is seen as a key input in breaking the low productivity cycle trap.
We believe that for us to achieve our mission of a prosperous and food secure nation, we have to move agriculture to the next level, whereby we remove it from the notion of subsistence to the progressive notion of farming as a business. To do that, we have to ensure that our farmers have affordable inputs, they have affordable credit, they have adequate knowledge, and we are optimizing the use of the natural resources, that is our water and soils, but we also need very strong institutions. So we believe with those elements we'll be able to achieve our mission.
What is the NAAIAP vision for the agriculture sector? Ladies and gentlemen, part of our vision is derived from the Millennium Development Goals.
In the year 2006, the African Union's NAAIAP convened the Africa Fertilizer Summit to address the soil fertility crisis facing Africa. The goal was to build consensus on key issues constraining increased fertilizer use in Africa, develop a strategy to accelerate access, affordability, and incentives to use fertilizers for African farmers. The Abuja Declaration on Fertilizers first resolution set a target to increase average fertilizer use from 8 kilograms per hectare to 50 kilograms per hectare by 2015. For this to succeed, we need to explore regional procurement and distribution, promotion of fertilizer production, and improve farmer access to complementary inputs, among other things. About 70% of cropped land in Kenya is cultivated by smallholder farmers. Less than 30% of these farmers in high rainfall areas use fertilizers and improved seed. In lower rainfall areas, less than 20% of farmers use fertilizers and certified seed. This is because they lack access to farm inputs and information about inputs. As a result, soils are depleted of nutrients and obtain low yields, which leads to declining productivity, food insecurity, and abject poverty. Therefore, Without external intervention, they will remain poor and unable to participate in farming as a commercial enterprise. Furthermore, it would be impossible attaining the first MDG of reducing by half the number of people living in absolute poverty and food insecurity. To mitigate this, the government developed a National Accelerated Agricultural Inputs Access Program, NAAIAP, a collaborative approach by both public and private sector as well as development partners. The program seeks to address the problem of food security and poverty among resource poor.
For a long time, we have been knowing that there is some level of poverty below which, unless something is actually done, these farmers will really never leave that poverty trap. So the development of this program is a real milestone as far as the ministry is concerned in addressing food security.
NAAIAP hopes to increase fertilizer use by 12% annually in order to reach the targeted consumption of 1 million metric tons annually. The primary objective of NAAIAP is to improve input access and affordability of key inputs for millions of smallholder farmers so that they can get out of poverty and participate in agriculture as a business enterprise.
We are implementing the program in a very comprehensive manner, to the extent that we are looking at the whole value chain from knowledge base, whereby the farmers are provided with all the knowledge they require, all the way to consumption and all the way to markets. That's why it's organized in such a way that when we go to a certain village, they get the knowledge, they start to produce. As they harvest, they are organized in such a way that they have cereal banks. When they have cereal banks, we link them with the market so that some of that excess grain can be sold to the market at reasonable prices. After they get the money, we link them with the banks so that in the future they can now sustain themselves in terms of using the same inputs, because they now have surplus income, and all that is inbuilt into the program.
NAAIAP was introduced in 2007 and it is being implemented in many districts of this country. Where it has been introduced, we have seen a tremendous increase in yield of maize.
The program started, of course, with a lot of resistance from our development partners. And today, I am so encouraged because nearly all development partners now want to be associated with our NAAIAP program. And it's for good reasons, because this program, having been conceptualized and being 100% government program, has been found to be highly successful. In fact, we are wondering why didn't we start it yesterday. So the achievements we have managed to do in the last the last 3 years or so have been so encouraging that if there is anything to comprehensively address food security in this country, is to upscale NAAIAP as a program, because it is these small scale production systems that really contribute to the largest portion on production of food in this country.
There has been a myth in this area that fertilizers normally ruin soils. So most farmers would not use fertilizer because they believe if you put fertilizer in the soil is going to be ruined.
Mama Irene,
Niko.
habari yako?
Nzuri sana.
Niko mzima. Mbona hii mahindi yako inametameta hivi?
Mahindi yangu ni mzuri? Hata mimi nafanyia tu, lakini hata sijui kama ni mzuri. Umeona ni mzuri sana?
Ni mzuri sana. Umepanda na nini?
Mimi nimetumia tu DAP kupanda.
Ati DAP?
Ndio. Alafu wakati nilishamaliza kupalilia nikaweka CN.
Hiyo yote ulitoa wapi?
Hiyo DAP na CN na mbegu yenyewe, hiyo vitu zote nilipata tu kwa bottle. Mahindi unapewa bure, DAP unapewa tena na mbolea kunyunyizia. la agriculture.
Na mimi niliitwa kupewa hiyo mbolea nikakataa.
Sasa ulikataa kwa nini?
Mimi niliambiwa mbolea inaharibu shamba.
Hapana, hiyo mbolea haiharibu shamba. Mbolea inapanda chakula alafu unavuna mzuri.
Mimi nilipuuza nikasema mbolea inaharibu shamba nikaacha.
Habari zenyu mama?
Nzuri.
Mama.
Mnaongea kuhusu kwa nini kwa shamba jameni?
Naongea kuhusu ukulima.
Eti huyu mama anasema eti hiyo DAP inaharibu chakula.
Umesuia mwandao kulima na kuja kuongea tu kwa shamba kwa nini?
Mahindi yake ni mzuri kuliko yangu alipanda na mbolea na mimi nikapuuza.
Wacha kupuuza mama. Vitu wakikwambia tu kuna kitu pahali.
So this was a good case because most of the farmers who now used fertilizer, their neighbors were able to see the yields they got, and even the farmers themselves saw that actually using fertilizer with certified seed will help a great deal.
Initially, our achievement used to be between 5 to 8 bags per acre. But from our estimates now, as we go through the fields, we are seeing that we are going to achieve between 15 and 20 bags per acre.
Nilikuwa nalima mahindi na nafuna gunia kidogo sana. Lakini wakati nilipata hii mradi wa NAAIAP, walinipatia mbolea na mbegu za nusu eka. Mbolea kilo 25 na mbegu kilo 5 ya nusu eka. Sasa vile nimepanda na ile maagizo nilipewa, nimeona iko tofauti kubwa sana. Hata mafuno hata ingawa sichafuna, nimeona naweza funa gunia zaidi ya 12 na nilikuwa nafuna gunia 4 ama 5.
Samani nilikuwa nimelima lakini si kuweka mbolea mzuri. Saa ngine mimi napanda bila mbolea. Mbegu nimetoa kwa ile ya kienyeji nimeweka. Na kutoka vizuri. Nimetoa nikienda kupuna, nimebuna mabunia 3 hivi au 2 kwa eka moja au nusu eka. Hapo ndio ninaona hasara, lakini saa hii ninaona imekuwa vizuri. Wakati nimeweka hiyo mbolea hii ni serikali ilikuwa ikitusaidia. Naona inaonekana vizuri.
Tulikuwa tukilima kienyeji tu. Mahindi, maharagwe tunachanganya. Tunapata tu mavuno kidogo. Hata haikuwa ikitosha. Lakini tangu saa ile tumeanzia huu mradi kama last season tumepata chakula ya kutosha. Hakuna kina mmoja hapa isipokuwa wale wana shamba kidogo sana. Unajua mavuno ikiwa ni kidogo shamba utapata tu dogo. Lakini wale wana shamba kama kuota aneka hakuna mtu amenunua mahindi. Wakati huu hatuna njaa. Kwa hivyo tunasikia tuna raha na tungesema huu mradi uendelee.
How does a district qualify to get the KILIMO Plus package? One must be a maize growing area with a high poverty index over 30% and without similar programs running in the district. What about the farmers? They have to be resource-poor farmers unable to procure farm inputs on their own. They must have 1 acre of land available for the program